this video will discuss the implementation of Form Access Security in Alert. Alert is a business application that primarily consists of forms. Forms include maintenance forms for adding and maintaining master records such as customers, employees and projects, transaction forms for entering transactions such as timesheets, customer orders and customer invoices, search forms for finding records such as customers, customer invoices, projects, employees, and report criteria forms that are used to enter filters and other criteria for producing reports. Essentially, business process functions are performed using one or more particular forms in Alert. If an organisation wants to restrict particular Alert system users to only certain business process functions, then they can achieve this by giving them access only to the Alert forms that perform those functions. All forms in Alert are categorised as one of these types of forms, being setup, maintenance, transaction, search or reporting. All forms in Alert have a unique reference code and name. This can always be found for every form in Alert by going to the General tab in the Forms ribbon strip and pressing the About This Object button. Here we can see the reference, the form name and the type. For the search form, you can see the same information with its own unique reference and the form type. All Alert forms are displayed in Alert's Security Maintenance form. These are displayed by module and form type. Here we can see the Alert module, form types and individual forms. Permissions can be applied at any of these levels. Different people in the organisation have different roles and responsibilities. For example, some people will be responsible only for entering timesheets. Others may be responsible for raising customer invoices and others responsible for managing projects. It is possible using Alert's Form Access Security, seen on this form, to restrict usage of Alert to just those forms that the Alert system user should have access to. This ensures that only those people responsible for particular business processes are able to use Alert to manage those business processes. For example, you do not want consultants to be able to see customer invoices raised. In this security maintenance form we have three windows. The leftmost window contains Alert system users and form access groups. Here we have a system user and here we have a form access group. We can switch to view by users first and the groups they belong to, or by groups and the users within those groups. The right hand top window, this window here, provides a listing of all Alert forms and it allows the user to select which forms the system user or form access group has access to. In this case, this form access group has access to all Alert forms. However, this form access group only has some access, and in this case for Time Alert module it only has partial access. To assign access to Alert forms, you firstly select either a group or a system user and then select the user privileges, or select the privilege as being for user or for the group. As mentioned, Alert allows an alert system user to be assigned to one or more form access groups. A system user may also have access to individual alert forms directly assigned to the alert system user. For example, in this case, the timesheet entry user's form access group has these permissions, and Gary Lim, the system user, has these permissions. Because permissions may be set up at both the group and the user level, the bottom right window provides us with a combined privileges view. In this case, we can see in the top window that Gary Lim does not have access to Time Alert, but in the bottom window they do, and that's because the timesheet entry user's form access group does have Time Alert access to some Time Alert forms. The combined privileges for Gary Lim now display all of those access permissions. It's recommended that alert form access groups be created on a role basis and for alert system users to be assigned to these groups. This will keep security maintenance to a minimum. Role-based form access groups could be, for example, timesheet entry only users, project managers, billing officers, alert system administrators. Users are then assigned to those groups. Edits to form access permissions in the security maintenance form are tracked and applied only when the security maintenance form is closed. This is because Alert stores form access permissions on a by system user and by alert form basis. This information is updated by Alert when the security maintenance form closes. This approach means there is no delay when a user tries to access a particular form in Alert. Alert knows immediately if the system user that is logged on is able to use a particular form they are trying to open. When we close the security maintenance form, Alert will reconcile form access permissions. This leads to another point, that in all menus and menu items are visible to all system users. It is only when a system user attempts to open a form that Alert checks the system user's form access permissions and either allows the form to be opened or presents an error message advising that they do not have permission to open that form. It's recommended when adding system users to assign form access group permissions at the time that the system user, the alert system user, is added. So here is the system user maintenance form, and we can assign form access groups to the user from this form. In this case there's 2 form access groups, and this user, Gary Lim, is assigned to one of those form access groups only. This is the end of the video on form access permissions.